and the United States Golf Association are proud to present the one.
That's right, everybody. It is U.S. Open week. How's everybody doing? Ryan Carpenter here with P45 Knuckle Down Golf, presented by, or the other way around, No BS Golf. That's right. We're doing the No BS Golf this time. We are going to talk about everything we can this week in a short period of time and cover what's going on. There's so much going on. It's impossible to cover it all, in fact. But as of today, we are officially en route to Oakmont. Not me, TV, of course, but I wish I was. It's a boy. There's so many things I could talk about this place, and there's tons of information out there. I've wasted dang hour early this morning. I first woke up just going over video, from player check-ins to the clubhouse to the history to the. I know most of the stuff. It's other than the fact that the U.S. Open is, of course, a very, let's start there, unique tournament, and I think hopefully everybody understands, but maybe not. But it's it's beyond a major. Of course, it's a major. That's kind of the one of our majors. However, it is closely held as by far the most important golf tournament for amateurs in the United States of America, because this is the beauty of this whole thing is that, and kind of the dream that at least keeps a handful of people still chasing, but you can literally earn your way into this tournament by playing good golf. It starts by having a low enough USGA, what we call GEN handicap, the system that calculates the number, right? You go play, you get good enough, you get your skills up. That's what I do to help you achieve that. I've helped, I don't know, in the past 25 years, let's say 100 people get down to a 2.0 better. And it's just amazing that we can still, and we're talking now, it's more likely, of course, for these youngsters because they're just getting so damn good. But we've got 4 high schoolers, I believe, or 3 maybe, that actually did make it through qualifying all the way to the final and then got their secured spot in the U.S. Open. These high schoolers are right now today, 8:50 a.m. this morning, they are at Oakmont, and it has got to be just an overwhelming feeling. Maybe not because they are so young that it doesn't always hit the same. But, I mean, if I were to go there for the first time, ever, and know what I was stepping on the property to, I mean, it would just, it hits. And it's like many of the other great, the U.S. Open has always been known as a rota style. So you've got only a handful of designated locations that are, quote unquote, up to standards, good enough to host, to go through what the USGA requires. It's like what is it now? Almost a 2-month shutdown, pre-tournament. And so that's what the members have to do. They have to hand over the keys. They shut down the golf course to the member play, and they start going through a rigorous set of daily monitoring and waterings and all the stuff they do to get it up to speed to where they want it for this national championship. And so from the qualification standpoint of every amateur has a chance to earn their way, earn your way. Number one key word there, not just hand it over, earn it. So many people today don't understand that this is a sport. This is an athletic endeavor. And if you're going to play it at a high level and with consistency, you do have to earn it. And it is something that is earned and cannot be handed over. Come take the evaluation. I give everybody in day one 100% the information and answers that they need to understand what it takes if you're going to become a much better player. Much better player. Keyword. Anybody can just throw it. You can go to a world of YouTube and find a couple of tips that might help you get a little bit, slightly better and ready for this weekend. Do it. Go for it. Have fun. I'm talking about real, dedicated, specific, custom, 100% developed, earned change, golf swing, short game, playing ability, you name it, in order to move you from a 30 to a 10, a 20 to a 0, whatever that might be. That's what we're doing every day, folks. This isn't joke around time. We're getting serious. We're not messing around. And it's only getting better. There's so much stuff coming down the pipeline right now that I am so excited about. And it's only going to get better. We're going to have better information. We're going to have better offerings. We're going to have you name it. And so, anyways, back to the U.S. Open. So this is the stuff that fuels me. My dedication stemmed from, I had 3 locations that I worked at before I went to teaching full-time golf, and high-end, super uber high-end, like Oakmont, private golf club, invitation only type facilities, closely held, belief in U.S. hosting type ability places, have had numerous U.S. Open, USAM qualifiers, and just the watching and taking me back. And I've known, not personally, Doug Ford really well, via so many different avenues. I've stemmed into that legend in the business. But the number one was my one of my 3 main club pro mentors, that worked at Oakmont for, I believe it was like 13, 14, 15 years, long time. And he worked for Doug Ford. And so he used to tell us stories all the time about Oakmont and his time there, stomping around and being on property there. And it was just amazing stuff. And so while I don't have a direct work relationship there, or even with Mr. Ford, I feel like I've spent a lifetime there because of the stories that I have and this is the kind of stuff that, it's a different world today. I know, whatever. But anyways, back in the day, growing up as a youngster and even as a golf professional in the first early years, by that point I was starved for information and starved for access and everything. And so when guys like this, who had been and done and seen, would start talking about things, I mean, the first thing I was doing was putting down everything and pulling up a chair and going, "Ooh, I need to learn more. Tell me, give me more." And I was in. And the things that you learn about, and then you start to go around your own property and your own time spent on your clubs that have been very much almost like mimicked in ways, I would say, to some degree. And you begin to glean and understand, wow, there's so much similarities. It's from the feels and the smells and there's just so many things. It's impossible to get anybody to understand, but it is such a fun week by far, from all these things, from watching the qualifiers and the AMs, trying to somehow compete with these players and earn at least a final day spot, maybe. Even better if at the top of the leaderboard, really truly contending. Wouldn't that be amazing? Like, going back, taking us to the Francis Ouimet, U.S. Open. And so, but you get these places that have such character and histories. What is it? Nicklaus's first win in 60, whatever the hell, 2, 3, whatever, right here against Arnie. And I mean, there's this, you turn on the Golf Channel, just leave the Golf Channel on the entire week. And throughout the day, all you're going to get is served another one and another one and another great story. And everything that is golf right now in the socials and everything is, if they know, I mean, some don't because they're younger and newer and they just don't have the history behind it, but you're just going to get fed information. And this is an amazing week. And I hope that right now I've got roughly, I don't know, 9 active youngsters that are in the process right now of developing their swings and game. And I'm hoping that at least one of them, minimum, has a slight chance at the end of this thing of at least tasting it, going into the U.S. Open qualifying and seeing and feeling and breathing and touching all that stuff, and maybe getting their chance one day at really seeing how this goes. And I'll tell you what, that's the number one reason why I still do this, because I don't have to right now. But the people that are in the from teenagers all the way up to, I'm 60 and I want to play in the U.S. Senior Open and qualify that. Great, let's do it. Anybody who's in, and by the way, that's the other thing. Don't let the young crowd chase you out of there. People. The qualifying exists across the board. We can get you into all kinds of events. Takes me back again to another. All this stuff is just so much fun. The memories and the years of working at the high end clubs that participate in this kind of stuff. We had a captain of golf at the Creek, and my second year there, he was having a hell of a season as a senior amateur. He went to, gosh, I'm gonna get this wrong, so I'm gonna leave that there as a little pin note here. But played in the U.S. I don't remember. Order is going to be issued too. U.S. Senior Am and took like 4th. Then he went to the Canadian Senior Am and won it. And then a few weeks later, he went to the Open Championship Senior Am, British Open Senior Open Championship, basically. And he took like 2nd, I believe. I mean, it was just a summer of, and that's the coolest part. We're sitting there doing our normal, running the golf ops, teaching golf, whatever, getting everything put to bed at night and then ready for the next day and all that kind of good stuff. And here comes Fred walking in 3 times with, top 5 finishes and a championship trophy to display there in the club for the rest of the year. That's the kind of stuff that you just can't manufacture. And being around Fred and watching him play, of course, and of course work his tail off. I mean, people are like, that tall, skinny 63-year-old, how the hell is he so good? And I'm like, look, folks, there is no like magical pill to the. I know everybody's out there promising you crap on the damn internets, and it's exactly what it is. It's a load of BS, is what it is. And the magic pill is effort and time. I mean, yeah, you got to learn some skills, but it's time. You got to find a way to find time and put in the time. I got players texting me. I'm hoping to get one of them on here soon, or at least 2 of them. And they're saying the key words and the things. Hey, here's what happened. And a light bulb went off, and I went, yeah, there we go. All right. These are the key words I like to hear. And so as they're advancing, but man, has it been a slow climb, because these people have lives. They've got jobs, and they've got, and by the way, that's the other thing is, I don't think very many people understand. Not only do I have this country club background, like the Oakmonts of the world, and working under amazing club pros, and then getting getting fed not directly from the mouth of Mr. Ford, but then his apprentices who became my mentors, and so I have that. But then over the years, and talking about this instructional stuff and development, I have right now, I'm blessed to have 4 mentors, 2 directly via higher level learning, webinars, studies, 3-dimensional golf, things like that I'm learning directly from, but also via other, content creation type stuff. I have 4 Golf Digest and the top 50 Golf Digest instructors that I'm still in some way, shape, or form connected to and learning and using and or just confirming. That's the best part of it at this stage. I feel like I'm right there with them. maybe not 100% at the highest level of educational, the high end stuff as they are, but I've done it long enough with them now that I certainly feel like I can sit at the table and have a conversation. So I have that plus all the other master teaching professionals and other. There's very few top golf instructors that have existed that I haven't had pretty much a direct relationship with in some way, shape, or form. And I've spent 25 years studying the hell out of everything they do and everything. And I still look for little tidbits if I can find them somehow. And I'll pull up a thing and I'll listen to it. I'll go, yeah, I remember that. Okay, very cool. All right, thanks, Mr. McLean. And Ledbetter and what he did with Faldo in the days back in the day, and very very few people really pay attention to a lot of this stuff, and that's fine. It's not the end of the world, but it's important to know that you've got to find time. Time is a very key component. You can go out there with your brain and a fixation of whatever you want. I'm gonna go do this, and it's like, well, okay, that's cool and all, but can you prove it? Because if you can't prove it, then how can you have that mindset? And so I'm like, I tell players all the time, like, I can't wait for the day where you're confident, ready to go kick some butt, waking up, ready to go tack the golf course, but you got to prove that you're there first. Like, you can't sit out. It's one of the dumbest things I see all the time. You got 224 handicaps sitting in a fairway with these stupid ass rangefinder. What you got, John? I got 172. What you got? I got 168. And I'm like, if I gave you both 10 balls, you wouldn't hit the green maybe 2 times max from these kinds of distances. What the hell does the damn pin distance mean and matter? It's more than that. When I pull up my GPS, I'm only looking at this. Back of the green, front of the green, middle of the green. And it was amazing because there's been some conversations here talking about what makes Scotty, Bryson probably, a little bit better and truly edge capable most of the time, better than a lot of these other players, because it's really close. There's not a lot of, but if you really pay close attention to what they're doing and how they're playing the game, and this is just another level of that learning facet, they're managing their games so much more effectively than a lot of other players. And Scotty's a perfect example. What is different about Scotty than, like, say, Tiger? What was the main difference? Because Tiger came on the scene and he basically, before they knew it, raised his level of playing ability above and beyond the rest of them without any warning. And so was he playing, quote unquote, inferior player? Yeah, but the problem was this. The entire pack was the same. Every single one of them were back 10, shots worse by far. And it was going to take a long time to catch up. And so he saw an opportunity, developed, and went out and played a game the way nobody had ever seen, which was whooping the asses of everybody on the PGA Tour. That's no BS. That was the truth. He was just kicking their brain. And they talked about it. Playing for second every week. It was no fun. But anyways, there is no, magic pill that I've ever found or discovered from any one of these intelligent, incredibly driven, forward developed, golf instructors, the top of the crop. And every time I listen to them and every time I talk with them, it's all the same basic things. And so time is critical. And if you don't have the time, if you're the businessman with the family, with the blah, blah, blahs, you've got to have a more realistic expectation. Then you can achieve anything you want. You can still rise up to and attain that level of play, but you're just going to have to spend way more time. Extend the time frame for success is the key. So instead of maybe trying to get it in 6 months, it's going to take more like 2 years. That's the difference. And so if you're time limited, you have to push the timeline back and get slow, incremental change. And then as these things start to occur, like these fellows sending me messages saying, hey, I'm career 9-hole low. And, I was out here doing my practice round on the 9. Yes, I said practice round on 9, by the way. I mean, I'll do that. Anyways. And what we were working on and talking about, I finally got it to finally click and it really worked. And I started doing this and there you go. And so those are little wins over time. eventually become huge wins, because little wins that are only going to mean a fraction of a stroke today, maybe possibly one, right? So it's going to save a little of time, but you add them up, and all of a sudden over a year or two, now we're talking 10, 15, 20 stroke differences in their playing ability. And not just one time. This is long lasting change. And so there is no magic bullet, pill, whatever you want to call it. Look for the quickie fixie thingy on the damn interwebs crap. It's BS, because it takes time, and they leave that information out on those things because all they're looking for is clicks to get you involved more deep into what they're doing, and then they start to spring you with the information later. And so it takes a development, it takes time, and you can earn your way into any of these. The beauty of this week, it is so cool. And it's a fun week because it really does. As I continue to, I'm already seeing more things. I want to be like, oh, I want to go see that. I want to look at that, because it's like the beautiful feel and taste of places like this are so amazing. So if you get a chance to ever visit a place like Oakmont, I mean, do not turn it down. Figure out a way to do it. From just just little things like the locker rooms and little secret cubbies in the inside the lockers and why they're there. And man, the big thing too, you got to meet the people who are there every day working. I mean, I'm talking about everybody from chef to bartender fella to guy that stocks the range to the tea setter guy. They all have amazing stories, and you have to stop and talk to them and find out everything you can. Don't pass by like everybody does in this world, just passing by each other, just not even hardly nothing. But oh my gosh, the stories they can tell. It is so much fun and incredible. And so hopefully everybody's really pumped up. I know I am. This US Open week, this is something else. There's lots, again, going on. What do we have at least for now in the pipeline? The second edition of Tee It Up went out. Tee It Up Georgia. The third edition is coming soon. By the way, there is advertising capability within that, and it's very nominal. We're not looking to make a profit off this thing right now. We just want to grow it and build it and get the numbers of publications built up so we can send out more and get these things, put in every golf course all around Central Georgia area. So look for, if you haven't seen it yet, it's because I'm waiting. I do have a website coming, but Teed Up Georgia is going to be all around Central Georgia. Just free copies. If you see it, pick it up and take it. It's free. You don't have to pay nothing. You don't have to ask permission. Just you see one of these, you just grab them. And but there is plenty of opportunities. We'll give you full page if you want a full page. We'll give you, I think I put in the other one a bigger option, but we got small options, blue and the orange there, whatever. And then I'll do half page if you want. So you name it, we can make it work. We can do real simple, easy ones near some of the listings. So, but it's important because there's a lot going on. Oh, youth on course. I need everybody to talk about this. Youth on course is absolutely pathetic around here, and I cannot understand for the life of me why that is. But we have to get this fixed because I don't know what's going on. But we need every junior should be a part of this. Every junior should be signed up, and every golf course better get on board and get your BS together and sign up. It's all paid for by corporate and everybody else. You're not losing them. This whole BS. I've been through this. I already know how it works. Don't give me the martyr crap. Now, what it really boils down to is that this is my problem with everybody in the golf world currently. Looks at it this way. If you look at a junior as a customer, I want to slap you in the face because it's a bunch of BS. Juniors are a whole different ballgame. And they need access, and they should be granted access for many reasons. We'll leave that to the side for now. But I just had, thank God, barely, I got it under the gun, a family that really wasn't all into this, especially as a family. It was just for one of the young siblings in the family, girl. And I kept saying every week, I'm like, we've got to find a way to get the family involved, even if it's backyard stuff. And sure enough, it's been on their brains, and finally, and they're all planning to play for the next couple weekends together. Yeah. And we're talking dad played in the past, hadn't really played in a long time. Brother hasn't played at all. Mom hasn't played at all. And now all four are going to get it together and go give it a try. I'm so happy and excited to hear things like that. It is so critical that we get them in. And the next part that's more important is we've got to get the youth on course available, because then it's only more reasonable and accessible to get them kids out there. And why would we not want to get the kids out there? Right? It makes nothing but sense. And so they're not a round of golf. They're not a, all the BS that we hear about. Anyways, so, and I want them to start understanding and tasting some of what's going on this week, because they're not going to right now, and that's okay. It's totally fine. Because I have a whole nother thing. Like, I don't have enough things going on. A whole nother thing I want to bring to the area hopefully soon. And so, anyways, there's lots in the timeline. Look for the Teed Up. Magazine at your local golf shop, maybe. And I try to put them in a Brandon shop on Russell Parkway. If you haven't been, the golf improvement center there. Hopefully there'll be a few copies there for you, maybe to snag one. Or the important thing is very soon I got a website coming. And on the website, which will help expand the advertising capabilities, folks, for anybody out there working at the golf courses that you want to get involved with this, please let me know. But it also gives us an electronic opportunity. You're going to get free electronic access. And I don't know how they're going to work it out. That's the website, guys. I just told them flat out, I'm like, look, you just got to make it as simple as if they were opening up and reading it right there, right on that little screen right there. Well, however you can make that happen, make it happen. So they're working on it. They're figuring out the best ways and all the good stuff on that. And so, but we need to grow this. We need to get this bigger so we can get even. I'm going to get maybe other people writing and being a part of it. And I've got more courses that are wanting to be previewed and be on the front page, which is exciting as well, because I want to get them involved and get their courses. So there's a lot of things going, and I need to ramp it up so this can become successful for everybody. And the sharing of information and getting all this out. Youth on course. What are some of the other things that junior golf camps are coming up now? They're probably full at this stage, but you can give it a try, give it a call. It's worth the effort. Yeah, just to call somebody up and say, hey, can we get in? So, yeah, I don't remember. Anyways, there was something I was going to put in here as well. But youth on course is the big one. That's the next one I really want to see flourish. And then soak up this week. Enjoy the U.S. Open. Not just golf on TV, but try to take it in. It's such an incredible week. And the amount of things, hopefully I didn't bore the shit out of you. But if I did, fine, whatever. I know not many of you made it this far anyways. So, but it's from my background. If y'all really want to get to know me at all and where I came from, like I was living at places like Oakmont for my first 10, 12 years in the business. And I lived these places, and I breathed, and I operated golf ops, and with my members and the club championships, and it's just there is nothing like it, and it's to share it with anybody would be amazing. And it's harder these days because these places are disappearing left and right too. But one heck of a place. Soak it in. Learn as much as you can. If you're into that kind of stuff, there's books, there's YouTubes, there's more information now today than ever before, and there are people, especially that have these awesome stories and access that will share, all this stuff with you, which is just amazing. And so I'm going to sit back and enjoy it along with you. Hopefully I can't wait to turn on. I need to get on the golf channel right now. In fact, see what there's got to be some guys already jibber jabbering in the media with them. So all kinds of fun stories about to happen. It's different from the Masters. That's for sure. It's not the exact same thing. But that is the best part about it. They're still considered highly coveted places and events which means while they differ, the differ is what makes them so special and unique. And to us, we obviously have our certain level of withholding of appreciation because it's our national championship. And I know the fellas across the pond are going to say poo poo and boo boo on us because they think theirs is so much more important because it started a few years before us. And that's fine. That's what makes them special too. You get to, the point is we're chasing after 4 unique types of trophies and done in such amazing ways and different ways. And so it's okay to be different anyways. But I will say, I think, the Masters is we hold it in our hearts so in different way. Just as important, maybe more important. Everybody can have that debate till the end of time for sure. But it's both have such incredible uniqueness and stories, and it's just so much fun. So can't wait to get to this week. It'll be a distraction for sure. So for the students, y'all, hopefully I don't, oops, make it through the lessons this week. So for everybody not going, here's my challenge to you. We'll go over something. I don't know, whatever it is. I guess I'm supposed to talk about teaching more, but I don't like to do it on YouTube's. So there's all kinds. So my first thing is for anybody out there who's been through the evaluation or not. Track yourself back to last year, and how improved have you gotten is my first question, and how many numbers. Go in the notes here, down in the below, and like, subscribe, share, please. It does help me if you could do that. I would really appreciate it. But anyways, go down there and type in your improvement and how'd you get there? What'd you do? I'd love to know that too. Come on and talk with me about it. Most importantly, I'm seeing things, I'm hearing things like, first of all, some of the dumb things. So here's the BS, the compression. So look, I know what you mean. I don't think y'all know exactly what you mean, but forget about the idea of compression. You can't go chasing after something that is not like 100% exactly the truth. I mean, does the ball, due to the physics and force of speed and hard object and bends, but y'all are confusing that with compression is immediately and inherently a direct contributor to, amazing soaring, through the sky, through the air distance. And so it's not. It's just a relativity factor of the freaking ball. Excuse my French, but the damn ball is doing this. Anyways, so some of y'all chasing that. Some are chasing higher spin. Right? Gotta get more spin. And you're missing out because you haven't had the whole information. You got to have the evaluation before you can understand this. So if your hand placement on the club, for example, is off, or let's put it another way. Let's say it's decent, but they fit you wrong, and your damn grip size looks like you're holding a fucking toothpick in your big man-sized hands, okay? Don't even get me started on that. You can go work on, whether it's on the range or in one of these fancy bays at the pub or, the back nine, whatever. But if you're not in position, A, with a good hold, B, with a minimum amount, and this is a requirement, and we can prove it based off a lot of factors, studies, kinematic sequence graphs. It's basic common sense, to be honest. Once you break it down, it doesn't take a genius to understand this. But minimum rotational and tilts, minimum angle movement into delivery, and then forward proper rotational value from the delivery point. And if that's not happening, you're never going to achieve all this crap that I see and hear being talked about. I saw someone talking about face relationship thing turned into release thing. And I'm going, That player can't even maintain posture through impact. How the hell are you going to get them to release a club? You can't. They have to early extend prior to the point of entry, and based off that alone means they can't release the goddamn golf club. Sorry, it ticks me off when I hear this stuff. So without the preceding information, you can go take any drill under the sun, any training aid, all this garbage that exists out there, and it's not going to happen because physically it can't. You're not in a position of delivery and minimum rotational tilt values equaling to the ability for then the skill, and you have to learn the skill, and then you have to learn to apply the skill to then unfold and become part of what you're doing, which means all this other crap you're even talking about, like compression, is never going to happen. And by the way, consistency, let's just get rid of that word, please, in the word of golf. Nobody's consistent with anything, first of all. What was he yesterday? Ryan? No, the other fella. Burnsy. He's one of the best players on the face of the earth. He's in this championship playoff. He's been playing super incredible well. And he probably hit his 80-yard shot into the green on the fourth hole, I believe. I mean, he might have missed it, the landing spot, by about 2 yards. 80-yard shot, folks. And it cost him because it rolled all the way back down off the green to about 30 yards off the green or so, probably uphill. It's one of the best players in the world, and I hear people out there, 20 friggin' handicaps, complaining, okay, I need a green on my wedge. And I'm like, no, really? No BS? Yeah, really? Well, first of all, you ain't got the skills of that guy. Second of all, you don't put in the time like that guy. You can't. I mean, you can, but it's ridiculous to have that kind of expectations. It's absolutely appalling that you would even sit there and complain about something like that versus people who are really, truly putting in their effort. It's ridiculous. It's BS is what it is. So, if you want to achieve those things, that's all great. But here's the thing. I'm going to tell you right now, even without the evaluation, just like I tell the people after the evaluation, this is all attainable, but you've got to commit. You've got to find a way. And I tell people all the time, this is crap. This whole – I ain't got no time. Look, it's like this. I've done this about, 400 or 500 times with people. You make it as simple as this. You take you out a sheet of paper, okay? You start drawing blocks. Here, let's do it right now. Ready? You go, okay, Monday and midnight, 1, 2, and Tuesday, midnight. And you go in, you block out the whole 7-day week, and you color in completely with black. I got to sleep. I got to go to work, whatever. You go in, then after you put in the absolutes, then you fill in the rest. I got kids things. I got whatever thing, my softball. You get rid of softball, play golf. Like, seriously, like, just end that shit already. So, but go ahead and block your damn schedule out, and you come back and show me with proof that you literally have no time whatsoever. I don't believe it, because everybody has 20-minute segments here and there throughout the day. And not only is it important to understand that you have time, and people say, well, that's not enough time. No, that's more than enough time when you do it every day, which you're supposed to be doing. And not only that, but it's what you do that matters. So, man, the evaluation process gives you all the information you need, but more importantly, the coaching that is involved week to week. Like, my guys sending me texts, and then we have conversations, and we dive into this, and we go deeper every week because they're further down the road now. And we're not just teaching golf some things. We're developing players, and they're on a track of who knows what. I mean, one of them's got the idea already of playing some tournament golf, which is awesome. So it's the coaching process that actually takes you through this, and it's the time needed to coach you to where you want to be. And I didn't make any of this stuff up, folks. Again, I'm gonna try to wrap this up based off this. I have spent 25 plus years studying everything under the sun. I have worked for or worked side by side with, or in some conjunction studied from, the best teaching golf teachers on the face of the earth right now. There's very little coaching trees that I haven't been a part of in some way, and I've taken and stolen from the best. Every single day I walk through the door and I go into a lesson, nobody sees it, but I'm bringing in with me about 50 of the greatest teachers of all time. They're all standing there behind me, sort of. No, they're up here. And I'm regurgitating to people the things I've learned from them, which is why I started this in the first place, because I knew as a 21-year-old, nothing assistant pro that I did not know near enough, and there was something missing, and I had to figure out what it was. And that's what got me set and started on this whole destiny, was figuring it out, and now I'm way past that. I'm 25 years later, deep into it. Oh, and by the way, I would love to, maybe if I can show you what these look like real quick here. It's based off of other things, These are my guys. These are my current, my current. So I got the elements of the swing and the second edition and now the science. And so I do this work, and trust me, I ain't done with it, so that I can understand at a much higher level stuff that you don't even want your brain to tackle. Trust me. Some of this stuff can make your eyes go sideways 15 seconds in, and so this is a good one. I haven't been able to do a lot of hub path work yet with a whole lot of play. A couple I've started in on. Why? Because the physical capabilities that are required and needed to apply the high level understanding of what hub path truly can and can't do are based off the assumption that the player has the fundamentals in place. Well, most amateurs are missing at least a minimum, on average, 12 fundamental key features of the golf swing. And if you don't have those basic fundamentals in place, this stuff is awesome information, but it ain't going to happen. So have fun. Go study the hell out of it. Please do. I mean, I would love to have somebody to talk to about it, to be honest. And I got my groups online, but the point is this. You've got to dive in, and you've got to commit, and you've got to be wanting and willing to do more and want more and achieve it. And don't tell me you ain't got no time, because, I get it. Time is limited, but there's got to be, and that's how I program. I do this with my players. I don't have time to spell it all out here. But if you want to become and find out and figure it out, you come check it out. You come hit me up. Send me an email, call, text, whatever, P45, knuckledowngolf@gmail.com. Twitter, Facebook, you can find all that stuff here on YouTube, 478-230-3324. Just find the information, or, look for the Tee It Up as well. And there's going to be more information there. But, you can't do certain things in the golf swing if something prior to that is now immediately impacting the ability to do that. There's a sequence. There's a certain requirement. There's a cause and effect, both good and bad. So you can't literally, physically achieve something if something preceding isn't there. If this goes this way, you can't reverse it. And so, anyways, it's mind-numbingly amazing to me. Let's use Golf Tech again as a good example. Golf Tech was one of my, my development grounds as a teacher as well. Not only just players, but for myself in teaching. 25 years into it, and there are so many basic learning and development things going on there every day, all around the world. 220 plus stores now they've got up and going. And I've got guys like Ian, who's up there in Michigan. He's been there since day one, pretty much all 25 years. He's been with the company. Basic fundamental shit that they've been doing forever is literally unknown to the general population out there still today. And I don't understand how that's possible. It is mind-blowing. And so if you want to find out, all you got to do is come take the evaluation. Evaluations normally, just so y'all know, $250 by itself. Full, 100%, entire comprehensive look at your entire golf swing. And we can even throw in little, if you want to look at short game at the end, fine, no problem. We kind of leave that to another session typically, because most people are struggling hitting the ball, right? Doesn't matter. We can do whatever you want in the evaluation. The point is we got to break down the swing for sure. We got to figure out what's going on. Video, I don't usually use mocap until it's a necessity. If you're a higher level player and we think it's important, great, we'll throw it on. I don't think it is for the most part. I can see it with my eyes anyways. But if we need it, we'll add that to. The point is this. It's an entire comprehensive look at your golf swing and the specifics about your swing. And then it's a custom plan built right there in day one as to what needs to take place, a minimum. And so we put that together so that you then have the information you need to decide. And if you don't decide, that's fine. That's on you, whatever. Good luck to you. Have a good day. But if you go into any lesson programs, it's 50% off. So you get 50% of that either on the spot off, or if you decide later, you can apply it to a plan. But the point is, until you have that information, and it takes a long time for me to put it all into documentation form. And so it's a very time consuming event for me, but it's important because if you don't have information, you can't understand what the hell's going on and where you need to go. So get that evaluation done. Trust me, until you do, I mean, go, like I said, try the YouTube stuff. Try hey, maybe this will help you a little bit this weekend, possibly. And sweet. If it does, awesome. Congratulations. I mean, it's not, but whatever. Give it a whirl. You want to come find out more about all this stuff, though? Because this is a pretty content-loaded day. All right. Got to hit me up. Got to get on the evaluation and get on the schedule, and we'll figure it out. So for now, youth on course. Please go find support, figure it out, talk about it, spread the word, you name it. Let's get it going. U.S. Open week, baby. Woo! I am so pumped for this. Let's get into this and have some fun. Comments, subscribe, like, share, please, down below. Helps me out a ton. For now, Ryan Carpenter, P45 Knuckle Down Golf. No BS golf. That's right here on YouTube. Oh, and here in the Houston County area, your number one destination for everything golf. That's right. Take care, folks.